Good morning, Dad.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, I've always wanted to interview you, but I never had the chance. But now we have a camera, okay, and I have a lot of questions to ask. So I'm gonna ask you some questions, so I can know, and so my kids can know, and my sisters can know, okay, because they probably never asked either. Okay, so what's your name?
My name is Frank Arrona.
You have
Arrona.
you have a middle name?
Romero. Romero.
Okay. When I was a little kid, I always wondered why you have a last name for a middle name. Romero is the last name.
But Romero is my middle name. My mother's maiden name.
Okay, that's why. That's what I was wondering. That's all I always wondered. Okay, where were you born?
I was born in Farmersville, California, November 3rd, 1935.
1935?
Yes,
So that makes you 84?
that's correct.
Okay. And what about your mom and dad? Where were they born?
They were born in Leon, Guanajuato, Mexico.
Okay. And what year did they come over here?
Well, they came over here and they used to come back and forth, but usually they came here in 1925 or 26 to New
1925?
Mexico.
Yeah? How'd they
Yes.
get here?
They mostly, I guess, they had a car and they came over here.
Oh,
In
yeah?
a car. They came to Bakersfield, California.
Oh, Bakersfield?
Yes,
Okay, when I was a little kid, you told me you lived in New Mexico.
I just went over there for a few days
Oh, okay.
during the summer.
But they lived over there?
They used to go back and forth from Mexico to New Mexico. So my dad worked at the train department. I mean, the train Santa Fe train
Oh, the railroad.
railroad.
Oh, okay. And then he ended up in, when did he come to Bakersfield to stay?
That's when he came to stay. About 1927, 28.
Okay. So, what kind of work did they do? You said he worked on the railroad in New Mexico.
Yes.
What about over here?
Just a regular agricultural work.
Like the fields?
Yes,
Grandma too, or just Grandpa?
they both work.
They both work the fields?
Yes.
Okay. What about sisters and brothers? How many sisters and brothers do you have?
I had 3 sisters and 4 brothers.
3 sisters, 4. Can you name them?
Yes, my oldest one.
Start from the top.
My oldest one's name is Raymond,
Okay, Uncle Raymond.
and then Victor,
Okay.
and then Santos,
Okay.
and then my brother Joe,
Joe.
and then myself.
Okay.
Had another, but he passed away when he was stillborn. My youngest one,
Oh, Tomas.
Tomas,
He's younger or older than you?
young.
Younger than you? Okay. What about your sisters?
Sisters I had 3. Our Soledad, they call her Chole,
Okay.
and then Jessie and Beatrice.
Okay. Okay. You have a favorite sister?
No, they were all favorite of mine.
About your brothers?
Brothers, probably my oldest brother Raymond.
Raymond? Yeah. What do you remember about your brothers or sisters? Like when you were a little kid, what do you remember about them?
They were all hard workers. That's all. Working
Yeah.
out, always working the farms.
And your uncle, my uncle Santos, your brother, he went to the war.
Yes, he got drafted after high school. He got drafted and went to. Well, he was here in the States for a while, and then he got drafted and went to England, and most of over there overseas.
What year was that? Remember?
I think it was back in 1942 or 3. Not sure.
So you were about what? 8, 7 or 8
years old.
when he left. And you're the youngest. You're the youngest of your family.
Yes.
So how old is Raymond, Uncle Raymond?
How old was he?
How many years apart? Like when you were born, how old was Uncle Raymond?
Well, I was born in 1935, and he was born in 1912.
23 years. 23 years?
I guess.
Yeah, it's 23 years. That's so. What about Victor? How old was Victor? Do you remember how old he was when you were born?
Well, he was only, Victor was born in 19, 18 or maybe 18.
Oh, so what?
Or 5 years difference.
5 years apart. Okay, so he was about 18 when you were born. Okay. You told me a story about Uncle Victor in 1954. So what happened in 1954 with Victor? You said he took you somewhere.
Oh, we went to. He had a friend named Mike Garcia,
Okay.
and he pitched for the Cleveland Indians at the time.
Mm.
And in the World Series, they got the World Series against the New York Giants. So his friend called him up. He wanted to go. So he wasn't too good going flying over there by himself. So he told me, if his friend told him to bring somebody else with me, so he brought me along with him.
Okay.
So we went to the World Series there in Cleveland.
Against the Giants.
The Giants, New York Giants.
You seen Willie Mays? Willie Mays?
Yes.
Yeah. Who won? Remember who won that series?
The Giants won 4 in a row.
Okay, that guy Mike Garcia. He's from Farmersville.
No, he was from Arrona.
Oh.
Arrona, actually, a Cutler. So Arrona,
okay.
he went to high school there.
Well, how do you know Victor? How did Victor know
They
a guy
used to
from
play
far
a
away?
summer league in the Sundays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, every Sunday they play ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so when you were a little kid, did you play sports or did you just run around Farmersville or what?
I played mostly baseball.
Baseball.
Yeah.
Okay.
We had a team there in Farmersville growing up. They had all the guys were from 15 to 16 up to older, maybe 30, something like that.
Mm. What about basketball? You didn't play basketball?
Basketball, I played a couple of years, that's all.
Oh. Because you're kind of tall for a Mexican guy.
Yeah. Well, I wasn't tall then at the high school level.
No?
No.
Oh. What about football? You didn't play football?
No. I was just, in football, I was just the manager in high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, now, where'd you go to high school? First of all, where'd you go to elementary school?
Farmersville?
Farmersville?
Yeah. Graduated in 1950.
From elementary school?
Mm-hmm.
What's the name of the elementary school?
It was just a Farmersville school.
Oh.
There wasn't no George named after the principal till afterwards. Just Snowden School.
Oh, okay. Just Farmersville elementary school?
Mm-hmm.
And you said, what did you used to do when you got there early, you said?
What's that?
You used to do something when you got to school early. If you got to school early, the teacher would let you do something.
We just usually played games around and.
But
Most you go to school, we didn't get. Just sometimes we got there early, sometimes we didn't.
But didn't you say she let you ring the bell, the school bell, for the kids?
Yeah, some of them do, and some of depends. Some of them kids did. They ring the school bell every
Okay.
8 o'clock.
Okay. You like ringing the school bell?
Yeah.
Okay. When you went to elementary school, when you started school, did you speak any English?
None.
No.
No.
So how'd you learn how to speak English?
Just going to school, we had to learn because of the teachers there taught us how to speak English.
Did they get mad when you didn't speak English?
No.
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 They didn't get mad or hit you or anything?
No.
No. What about the kids at school? Were there other kids that didn't speak English?
Oh yeah, the majority of the Mexican guys didn't speak any English at all.
Oh, so you just had to learn from the little kids, the other kids?
All the family in our family, they were the same way. They didn't speak English. Because my mom and dad didn't speak English at all.
At all?
At all.
No?
No.
Okay. As a kid, okay, you're still in elementary, so how did your, what do you remember about your mom and dad when you were in elementary school?
Well, now job they had to work. They just got up early in the morning and made the breakfast for my brothers and sisters, and then they went to work.
Okay, so they were gone by the time you woke up and went to school?
Oh yeah.
So they already left?
They left. Yeah, they left early in the mornings.
Oh, then you just went to school on your own?
Yeah, we walked.
Who's we?
Well, some friends of ours.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes with my sister, but most of the time with my other friends.
Oh, what about, did you ever play hooky?
No.
No?
No.
To go swimming in the river?
Yeah, I go in the river, but that was just after school.
Because I remember.
Summertime.
Oh, okay. Okay. Because I remember you told me you used to go swim in the river.
Yeah, in the summertime.
Okay, now next is junior high school. Was there a Farmersville Junior High School back then?
No, nothing.
No?
We went to a high school in Visalia. At the time, it was only, they made it into a junior high, and the other high school, the high school where the other people went, they went to the high school at Visalia High School at the time.
It was called Visalia High School?
Yes, and the other high school was a junior high, what they used to be their high school, and they called it just a regular junior high school. And we went there only 1 year, my freshman year.
Okay.
And then the next 3 years we went over to the other high school, North Skelja High School.
And what's that called now? The high school. What's it called now?
Mount Whitney High School.
Mount Whitney.
Yes.
And didn't you tell me Mount Whitney used to be where Redwood is now?
Well, at
Or
the time it was just a regular high school then.
Okay.
And then they made it into a junior high school. And then they moved us over to the other one. And they still name it. Until later on they changed it to back with the other, made it a fourth. You know, every year they left a year behind. So about 4 years later, they had sophomores, juniors, and seniors over there. So then they named it Redwood. And then we got to Mount Whitney over here.
Okay. Okay. So, what'd you do in high school? Like, did you drive at the time, or
No.
how'd
no.
you get to school?
We had a bus. We had to walk a mile to the bus stop.
You had to walk a mile to the bus stop?
Yes.
Where was the bus stop?
At the corner of Moffitt's Corner and Long Beach Boulevard. Palmerville Boulevard.
Oh, you had to walk over there and then jump on the bus? Mm-hmm. And then take you to school in Visalia?
Yes.
The same friends you had from elementary, you would
Yes.
walk with them?
Maybe about 10 of us went.
So you still, are those guys still around, your friends?
No, they're all gone, except maybe one. No, they're all gone now. The ones I went to school with.
Oh, yeah?
There was maybe 1 or 2 that live in my schedule that I know of.
Okay. In high school, did you have a car in high school at all?
A car? No, I borrowed my brother's car sometimes.
What brother? What brother?
Victor?
Oh, Victor had a car?
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
borrowed his car?
Yeah.
So he didn't need his car?
Huh?
He didn't need to use his car?
No, he went with his brother's, his brother-in-law to work or whatever work he did.
Okay. So you went to high school. What year did you graduate high school?
1954.
54? Mm-hmm. Okay. So you went to the World Series after you graduated high school?
It was about the same time we went. It was in October. Yeah.
Yeah.
After high school, it was October.
Okay. So what'd you do after high school? Not after, like you got out of school. After you graduated high school.
I went to COS, College of Sequoias.
Oh, you did? Mm-hmm. And what'd you study?
Criminology.
Criminology?
Law enforcement.
Were you a smart guy?
No.
No?
Normal.
Normal guy?
Yeah.
So you went to COS, and then after that, so you always, okay, let me just go back. When you were a little kid, I don't know, high school, elementary school, high school, what did you want to be when you grew up? Back then, what did you want to be when you grew up?
I wanted to become law enforcement.
Oh, you always did? Mm-hmm. Okay. So then at COS, you took criminology, and you went there for 2 years?
Yes.
Okay, and then what happened after that?
I was at the National Guard, and I went to the service.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Where's the National Guard at? What do you
There's
mean?
the armory at the Visalia.
Oh, they have one there?
Yeah. At the time, it was right downtown.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. And then you went to the Army?
Yeah.
And where'd you go to what made you decide to go to the Army?
Well,
You went to high school, you wanted to be going to law enforcement, and then you went to COS,
Yes.
and then you were taking classes.
Yeah.
So how come you just didn't go to the like join the police academy or the sheriff's academy? What made you go to the Army? What made you
I just
decide
wanted to go to the Army, that's all.
Yeah? Okay.
So I went to Fort Ord, Air Basic Training in Fort Ord, California. And then from there I went to Fort Gordon, Georgia for MP school.
Oh, you were MP? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And we were there for 4 months. And then after that, we went overseas.
Okay. When you went to the Army, did you go because people go to the Army for different reasons? The military.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're patriotic. Sometimes they went because their brothers went or their dad went.
Yeah.
So you didn't have no reason to go. You just wanted to go.
I just wanted to go. And at the time, when a lot of the kids, high school guys, wanted to go to the Army because they was got the GI Bill.
Oh, okay.
And when they come back, they got they paid them so much money, $400 a month or whatever it was they got to go to school.
Oh, okay. or what? Sometimes when I went, I met a lot of guys that were from small towns like Farmersville,
Yeah.
and they wanted to get away from the small town and experience something,
No.
across the country.
No, most of the guys just wanted to go through the service and get it over with and come back, and maybe they want to go see somewhere where they were from, but they never had a chance to go somewhere else where they could. If they went to the Army or the Navy or the Air Force or whatever they want, they would go somewhere else where they never been before.
Yeah.
They don't know where you're gonna be going to, but
Okay.
see.
Okay. So you went to Georgia, and then when you went to Georgia, okay, when I look at you or people look at you, they see a dark man. Okay. Some people, when I was a little kid, I used to think you were black. I used to think you were, like Izzy says, Isaiah says, is he black? So I used to think you were black when I was a little kid, and the reason why, because I would always see like Chuck Berry and Fats Domino and Little Richard records in your closet, and you look like those guys. You had the same haircut, you were dark, so I thought you were just like them.
Oh.
So when you were in Georgia in the 50s, were you treated different?
Oh yes. Yes, when we got there, we didn't know. Here in California, we were all mixed up. We didn't see a black with the Mexicans. They were all mixed up. In high school, the same way. We got along pretty good. But when we got there, there was most of us was whites and Mexicans. Well, I'm the only Mexican that went over there, and we had some white friends that went with me, and that was a lot different. When we got there, we didn't know that was this, interrogations about black one here and the whites over here. But we got there and got to the bus station. Got to get the bus to go to the base. And we went all the way to the back of the bus, and the guy says, no, you guys don't belong back there. That's for the blacks only.
Mm.
So we had to move up forward.
Mm.
And the same thing, when somebody got on, my friends were in the front, and an elderly black lady got on the bus, and he got out so she could sit down, and the bus stop says, no, you stay down, she got to get up.
Mm.
So, and we didn't like that because we weren't used to that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We weren't used to that going back here and knowing blacks were different than we were.
Mm-hmm. What about you said you guys went to the bar and they kicked you out of the bar?
Well, yeah, when we first got there, we used to go downtown and, bars or whatever, dance, and the MPs would come by and says, you guys don't belong here. You guys are too dark or black. And you guys belong in the other section of town. And I guess so we left and we went to the other section of town the next time with our black buddies of ours that were in the same company.
Mm.
And the same thing happened over there. They came over there and said, you told us you guys don't belong here. This is only for black people only. Well, we weren't black, we were brown. So we went back to the commander of the military police and we told him, we got to do something about this, so we don't have nowhere to go. So we told the commander, and he put orders that these guys weren't black or they were brown or something. Like we had a lot of Puerto Ricans too, and Cubans that were in the same thing, and they said, oh, they can go wherever they want as long as they're not black, actually, Negroes or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we could go where we want to go.
Okay. You went to all the different
Yeah.
places? What years was this? You remember?
That was in 50, I don't know, what, 58, 56, somewhere on there.
Okay. So right around that time, what kind of music were you listening to?
Mostly rock and roll music.
Yeah?
Yeah, we used to go, when I was in high school or I used to hang around with a lot of guys my age or 17 or 18 year olds or 19. We used to go to rock and roll dances. A lot of good bands used to come to Tulare.
Oh, okay.
And we used to go see them play there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Like who? What
Well,
bands?
like I said, all the rock and roll guys like Chuck Berry, Fat Domino, the Platters, and all those.
Yeah, they would come to Tulare?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Every year.
Oh.
And then we'd go out there and do the dance.
Okay. Is that how you met Mom?
No, I met her in Woodlake, her hometown in Woodlake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At a dance?
And dances. They had dances but not every weekend, but every month they had dancer at the Memorial Hall in Woodlake.
Yeah.
And I used to go with my friends there to Wood Lake to the dance. I had a lot of friends in Wood Lake that I used to go to hang around with.
Yeah, because I heard that they have like each little town, like Woodlake, Farmersville, Exeter, Porterville, uh, Visalia. They all have memorial buildings,
Yeah.
and they would have dances at these buildings. Like
Well, just about everybody except I don't think Exeter was that.
no,
They didn't have too many Mexicans work in Exeter. That you know.
oh, back then.
Yeah, they had Mexicans, but they didn't. Not very many families. Maybe at the most, maybe 10 families went there. Lived in Exeter.
Oh, okay.
So, and the teenagers, they didn't. They didn't go dancing like we did. But us guys, I mean, my kid, my friends, we all went to different dentists. Because I used to, like I said, I hang around with the guests mostly because there wasn't nobody in Palmersville that I hang around with. I used to, or Visalia. I used to hang around with the ones in Palmersville, Woodley.
Oh,
And we used to go, hey, let's go to the dance Saturday, or let's go, there's a rocket hop, and whatever, we're going to jump in the car and go to the rocket hop.
like different towns, different week,
Different
every
town.
week, different town.
Different town, yeah. Or some of the girls that we knew, they had parties at home, and we used to go dancing and went over there, just
Oh, okay.
get together with them.
Oh, okay. So when you got out the army, what year did you get out of it? When did you come back from Georgia?
I think it was 56, 56, I think it was,
Okay.
57.
Okay, and did you get a job when you got back, or what did you do when you came
No,
back?
I had to work, I worked for the sheriff's office in Visalia.
Okay.
But I worked there for about a couple of years, and then I got me a job. Some of the guys that I went to junior college with or high school with, I mean, at COS,
Yeah.
they went to work. They had openings in with the state of California as fingerprint people, Department of Justice.
Oh, okay.
So they said, "Why come you don't come and work over here?" You know, they're hiring. So there was about 3 guys that worked over there. So I went over there and applied and got a job over there.
Sacramento?
I worked there for 4 years.
When did you start that?
Where?
What year?
In about 61,
Oh, yeah?
60 or 61.
So what year did you meet Mom?
What year?
Yeah.
I met her about a year before.
60?
Yeah.
And how'd you meet her?
I met her at
a dance in Wood Lake.
Wood Lake, yes.
Okay.
We went to the dancing and she was there, so we just dancing. Just started talking and dancing there.
Okay. And you would take her to visit your family,
Yes.
and you would visit her family.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. They like Mom.
Oh, yeah.
Did
And
Grandma
then-
and Grandpa like you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, we got along fine.
Yeah. So then you got it. Then you got it. You met Mom in 60, and then you got a job at the
Department of
Justice in Sacramento
Yeah.
in 61.
Yeah, in July of 61, I got a job, and we got married in November of 61.
November. Yeah. Okay. So you got married. Where'd you live when you got married? Where's
We
your
lived
first
in
house?
Sacramento. Well,
Oh, you moved up to Sacramento.
yeah,
Okay.
in an apartment there on, I think it was on Freeport Boulevard by the airport, and the old airport there in Sacramento. We moved up there. It's an apartment there, and then later on we bought a 2-bedroom house, pretty close by the same place. And
In Sacramento.
yeah. And then I got a job. After that, I wanted to go get more of one. And since I already had 4 years experience in fingerprints, I wanted to go to get more, same job, but a different, more to do with crime scene investigation. So
Okay.
they had an opening in Fresno, so I applied there and got that job there in 65.
That's in City of Fresno.
City of Fresno. I worked there for
Okay.
4 years, and then I worked there for 4 years, and I learned more about fingerprints and photography. And then I applied for I had a chance to go to work in Santa Monica, because I had 2 jobs, Santa Monica or Long Beach. And I got hired in Long Beach, so that's where I went to work in 69.
69. That's when you came to Long Beach. Okay.
And I started working there in 69 until I retired in 95.
You told me a story about about you, Al Rivera, and Bratcher when you guys got hired by Long Beach.
Yeah, my compadre Al was there before I was, and I think Bratcher was there 1 year. No, me and Bratcher got to the same time, or I'm not sure whether Bratcher got there before I did. But we all got together. But my compadre had been there a couple of years before me.
Mm-hmm. But why you guys? Why they pick you guys? You three?
Why?
Yeah.
When I went to I think Bratcher was with me, but we had about 4 more guys that went with us. They used to work for LAPD.
Mm-hmm.
Bratcher and the other 4 guys or 5 guys that went. And they all went to work. They applied at the same time. So
Mm-hmm.
we all got the same job at the same time. It was Bratcher, not Bratcher. I don't think Bratcher was the same time. He might have been, but then they had Albert Lewis and Jose L. Martin and some other guys. They got hired, but they came from LAPD.
Mm.
They were doing a job over there, so we came over here.
Okay. That was in '69, you said?
'69.
Okay. So let's back up to working in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm.
When you were working in Sacramento, Mom got pregnant with Nadine.
Nadine.
While you were working in Sacramento?
Yes.
Okay. So, but Nadine was born in Exeter, right?
Right, because your mother didn't want. She wanted doctors from Exeter that she knew when she was growing up. The same doctor that was treating her. I mean, at the time when she was growing up, they had a doctor in Exeter, and they used to go over there to see him, like her mom and dad or somebody used to go see that doctor over there. So that's when she went over there to see her doctor when she was pregnant. And then at the time we come and see her down in every so month. And when she had to go see the doctor, we come down and she went to see the doctor. Until just about closing time to have the baby, she stayed over here.
Mm. So that's why she was born in Exeter?
Yes.
Even though you were living in Sacramento?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then in '65, Marlene was born.
She was born in Sacramento.
Okay, so that by that time, Mom switched doctors?
Well, yeah, we had a different insurance.
Go ahead.
We had a different insurance for the state of California, so she was born in there at Fort Sutter Hospital in Sacramento.
Fort Sutter?
Mm-hmm.
Like Sutter's Fort?
Sutter's Fort, yeah.
Okay. That was '65, and then so then Lisa, you come to Long Beach in '69,
Right.
and then Lisa was born in '69.
She was. We lived in Sacramento, and your mom was already pregnant, and Lisa was born in '69 because she's just about ready to be born. We got there in when did we get in Sacramento? I mean in Long Beach. Well, she was born in March, so I don't know what year I came to Sacramento. I knew what year it was, but I don't know what month it was I came.
Mm-hmm.
But she was born about this, right after we got there.
And where did you live when you first lived in Long Beach? Where did you live?
We lived in an apartment on East Spring Street.
On Spring?
Yeah, 145 East Spring Street.
Oh, okay. Spring in by the park?
By the park, there's right
That's
across
Park?
Pacific and between Pacific and Long Beach Boulevard.
Okay. That's where you lived? That's your first house you lived in?
Yeah.
When you got to Long Beach? Okay, and then where'd you live after that?
After that, we moved to another apartment over there on, they call it Harwood Apartments. Harwood Apartments.
Yeah.
They're over there off of South Street. South Street and, what was that? Not Paramount?
Yeah, South and Paramount.
Yeah.
South and Candlewood.
That way.
Yeah. Parwood Apartments.
Harwood Apartments.
Okay, was Vanessa born yet, or did you move there and then she was born?
No, she was born after Lisa was born, but she was born in over there at the hospital by I don't know what they called it, the hospital. It was right there off of Delamo and Woodruff. Not Delamo, Woodruff and what's the name of this? Orlo?
Woodruff and Ward, yeah, where they all meet.
There used to be a hospital there,
Oh yeah,
and that's where she was born.
it's not there anymore.
No, it's gone.
Yeah. Okay, so that was 1970 because Vanessa was born in 1970.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I was born in 1972.
Yeah.
But I remember by that time we lived on Janet Street.